we're bringing big energy to this shoot. Big Altima energy. It's in its 6th generation, and we're gonna check out the good and the bad, and we're not gonna make any references to memes. We're gonna try. Ah yes, Nissan's beloved midsize sedan received some updates for its 6th generation to make sure it's keeping up with the competition. Let's start on the outside. There's a new front end that still looks like it has that hood gap, but it ditches the V-shaped chrome trim on the grille, and there's new wheels and new paint options. Yeah, it may cut you off on the road, but you gotta admit, the Altima is a good-looking sedan. This is the SR VC Turbo trim, and it comes in this nice gray sky pearl color, or as Lynn calls it, gray sky poof. And it also has these 19-inch wheels in a matte gray finish, and it looks good. The rear bumper has a nice tidy treatment, and you have dual exhaust tips with a rear diffuser. It looks so good that you don't have to add the bedazzled license plate or any bumper stickers to it. Don't do it. Hopping inside, not much has changed with the interior, but it still comfortably seats full-size occupants like myself. The styling is modest and simple, but the contrast stitching on the seats and flat-bottom steering wheel add more flair. These are Nissan's zero gravity front seats, and I gotta tell you, these are comfortable. They give you just the right amount of support. They're adjustable, some good lumbar, and the bolstering down here doesn't impede on my thighs, so that means these keys aren't poking me in the butt. But besides that, the steering wheel is highly adjustable, and I love the flat bottom. It gives it a nice sporty feel. Got some good headroom at 6'4", good leg room, and I really do appreciate how squishy the inboard and outboard armrests are. It's good for some nice long drives. If you're looking to carry items larger than a phone or your keys for a weekend getaway, out back the Altima has 15.4 cubic feet of cargo space, which is less than the Honda Accord, but a smidge more than the Toyota Camry. But one thing that you have to note is the rear seat vents don't come on the lower trim, so your mother-in-law is gonna burn up on her way to Target. Sorry. For this year, the Altima adds an optional 12.3-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay, but for Android users, there's only wired Android Auto. And a couple things that bugged me were the distance of the signal stalk from the steering wheel and the lack of one-touch auto up-down buttons for all windows on the driver's side. However, the interior makes up for it with other functionalities. For the most part, the interior is well put together. There's no real squeaks or rattles, and there's some cool material like this faux carbon fiber treatment right here for this trim, but it does come with its downsides like this hard plastic right here and piano black that will attract fingerprints and scratches because it is a high traffic area. But you do get a high resolution large touchscreen, but the backup camera is so low resolution it's almost laughable. But let's balance it out with some good, because you have a volume control to quickly turn up the music at 6 a.m. to wake up your neighbors, and you get tangible HVAC control knobs and buttons, which is nice. And you also get heated steering wheel button and heated seat buttons right here, but you don't get ventilated seats on any trim level. So you know what that means? That's karma for putting your mother-in-law in the back seat, because now I'm gonna burn up on the way to Target. Getting the Altima on the road, you'll be happy to know that it can act as a regular daily commuter. Standard models come with a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine making 188 horsepower and 180 pound-feet of torque. Front-wheel drive is standard, but there's optional all-wheel drive on all but the base trim, and that actually drops engine output down to 182 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. And if you don't need all-wheel drive but you have a need for speed, the front-wheel drive exclusive 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine on the highest SR VC turbo trim makes up to 248 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque on 93 octane gas. If you can get the turbo engine, get the turbocharged engine. I mean, it does have a little bit of turbo lag, and when you're at speed, when you give it some throttle, it does take a little while for the engine to respond, but this has way more fun potential than the naturally aspirated engine. And just don't drive like a maniac. Have fun, but be cool about it. Be cool. Yes, that turbocharged engine can definitely add some fun to your drive, But what takes away from it is the continuously variable transmission, or CVT if you're in a rush. It's the only transmission available, and although it's been refined over the years, it still takes away from that driving experience. Yeah, that dreaded CVT. So you know what that means. You're gonna hear a lot of this. Yeah, a lot of that. Yeah, but you do get paddle shifters if you want to go through your own gears. And you do get a sport mode, which holds the gears a little bit longer, but it's never going to be a traditional 6 or 7 or 8-speed automatic. It's just CVT. Not bad though. Apart from the CVT, the Altima gets decent fuel economy across the board, with the turbocharged mill using variable compression to be fuel efficient when needed and spunky when you want it. Yeah, it would be nice if the turbocharged engine had the all-wheel drive option, just for some added traction. But with this SRVC turbo trim, the Sport Tune suspension is doing a good job, giving me a little bit more confidence when cornering, not like a maniac, may I add. And it definitely feels sporty when it needs to, but when you're just rolling down the street, a lot of the undulations in the road don't get transferred into the cabin as much, so you can cruise also. While driving, there is a little bit of wind noise coming through, but it's nothing noteworthy. And the steering wheel has a good, nice heft to it. I really do appreciate that. And visibility outward is great. Over my left and right shoulder, it looks good, but rearward, because the trunk sits so high and I also have the third brake light right there, it's like a little slit of a window to look out of. But thankfully, Nissan has you covered with standard Safety Shield 360, which includes rear automatic braking, blind spot warning, lane departure warning, and rear cross traffic alert. For added convenience, an optional Pro Pilot Assist system, which includes adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist, is available as well. Hey, at the end of the day, you choose how you want to drive your car. And if you choose civility over chaos, the Altima is actually a really good commuter. A base Altima S model starts at just around $25,500, not including destination, and it comes with 16-inch wheels, keyless entry, push-button start, cloth seats, 6 speakers, and a single USB port. Move up the trim ladder for larger 17 or 19-inch wheels, fog lights, a sport-tuned suspension, acoustic laminated glass, leather seating with heated front seats, 7-inch driver assist display, an 8-inch or 12.3-inch infotainment screen with navigation, wireless charging, 360-degree camera, dual zone climate control, 9-speaker Bose audio system, and a sunroof. And landing on a top-of-the-line SRVC turbo trim starts at just over $35,000. If you're feeling all of this big Altima energy, go on KBB.com and get a fair purchase price on this Altima or any of its many competitors. KBB.com, click the link above for more details. Those many competitors include the aforementioned Honda Accord and Toyota Camry, the Hyundai Sonata, Kia K5, Chevy Malibu, and the Subaru Legacy. And even in this crowded segment, the Nissan Altima uses clever tactics to stand out, in a good way. Yeah, we've all seen the internet persona of the Altima and the memes, but in person, this is a handsome ride with fun potential and a well put together interior with good tech. So if you're looking for a sedan, this definitely deserves a second look.